good, happy Friday afternoon to you. Welcome to our plant-based bunch. This is a special edition, a special upload, not the regular vlogs that you are all used to, but we are going to do a Q&A session for you guys. And it was last week, I think it was, maybe the beginning of the week, I asked you to submit your questions on Instagram and Facebook, and I got lots of good questions. So this may even make it to 2 videos, do a 2-part thing, I'm not sure. So I am going to go to Instagram first. See that? I'm going to go to Instagram first and start with the questions there, and then we'll move on to Facebook and anywhere else that there might be questions lingering that I don't know about. All right, first question. Are you ready? This is from English. R-E-E-E English. Do you and the family get less sickness by eating a vegan diet? Yes, we absolutely do, don't we, Olivia?
Don't we what?
Get less sickness.
Yes.
I don't even remember the last time we even had a cold these days.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, when's the last time? We have never had
Unlike
the
this,
flu.
we used to get the colds in the winter, but even this winter we've
been eating even better. And
we
that's
haven't
the proof.
gotten any colds.
We've been eating much more simply, thank you, honey, and whole food, plant-based, not so much processed, and it really, really makes a difference. That's a good question. And have you always been vegan? No. In fact, I ate anything that didn't move faster than me. I ate garbage. I ate a lot of junk, and it's a really good testimony as to why I even started this whole ministry, is because I was so unhealthy and eating so much stuff, meat, not even just meat, but all kinds of processed stuff, sweet stuff, anything, that I did a testimony on that, a testimony video. Maybe I'll put a link to it. And actually, it's an old video, and I'm going to update it. So you know what? I'm not going to put a link to it. I'm going to do another video, a testimony video, in the near future. Answer my own question. And has the kids ever struggled being vegan? Well, no, because that's all they've ever really known. I will tell you, honestly, that when Nick was in Florida last year, when he was with Grandma for a weekend, I think is what it was. Maybe even in Florida, I'm not sure. He did try to eat meat, and I guess he just wanted to see what it was all about. I'm not sure. I don't know why he tried, but he decided that it was not for him, so he's back to veganism. I mean, eating a plant-based diet. Veganism, that's another topic for another day. But we are vegan, is that we don't eat animal. I'm rambling. Okay. Next question from Mom of Nick and Allie. Did you quit wearing your Fitbit? I did. I quit wearing my Fitbit. I was so excited about it and so pumped up about it, and I believe it did help me in a lot of ways to lose the weight that I was trying to get off back in the summer. But I got to thinking, actually it was a viewer on Periscope that, when I was talking about Fitbit, she says, no, I don't wear a Fitbit because I'm concerned about the radiation. Then I got to thinking about it, that your wrist is constantly being radiated, and when you go to sleep with it on, your head's being radiated. And I didn't really like that idea, so I decided too that I didn't really need to micromanage my my lifestyle anymore. I didn't have to really know exactly what my heart rate was all the time. I didn't have to know exactly how many steps I took, or how many miles I walked, or how many even feet I walked. I didn't need to know all that stuff anymore. All I need to do is trust in the Lord that He was going to take care of me and provide and keep me healthy and fit, as long as I was following the 8 laws of health. And if you're wondering what the 8 laws of health are, we can talk about that more too. Or you can go to our website, ourplantbasedbunch.com, and find out more about the 8 laws of health. So, and since I've been doing that, it's going really good. It's going really well, and I'm thankful. I don't really need it. But having said that, if it works for you, I mean, I have no strict opposition to using the Fitbit. It's just, I was just done with it. Next question from Kenda on Earth. Kenda, hi. If you were having your favorite celebrity idol over for the day, what would you make for breakfast and lunch to serve for them? Well, not even just an idol or celebrity. Anybody that comes to our home is special, whether you're an idol, a celebrity, or just, Anybody. Anybody. Everybody's special, right? So if you were to come to my home, I would probably make, that millet crumble. It's a really special dessert. Not a dessert, a special breakfast treat that is so good. It's kind of like a dessert. Actually, the recipe. Do I have the recipe on the website? If I don't, I should check. That would be my first favorite. Or pancakes or waffles or French toast or something special like that with lots of fresh fruit and maybe even some soy whipped cream or coconut milk topping of some sort. Something like that for breakfast. And for lunch, it has to be lasagna. Vegan lasagna. Delicious. Or pizza. Vegan pizza. That would be good. All right. What's it like being my mom? This comes from Plant-Based Live. Well, it's very much of a blessing, Plant-Based Live. And you are very much a blessing as well as the other three of you. And I couldn't ask for anything more, and I can't really imagine life without you. All right, Kenda on Earth has another question. Also, when the time comes, how do dating and relationships work in your family? Are the kids allowed to date whomever and whenever they like, or do you just have certain rules around this? Just curious. That's a good question. You know, boy, that's deep, Kenda. We might have to, delve into that even more deeply and maybe even have an interview with the children on that. But as a rule, we don't really date because dating, when you are coming with somebody that you are interested in romantically, when you think about being more involved with that person, you want to think about, would this person suit me in marriage? Would I be able to live with this person for the rest of my life? Dating is kind of just a casual thing. You date this person, you date that person. That's what comes to my mind. It may not be that way, the way you guys think of that. I don't know. But we think more of courting, when you're with somebody. And so the children definitely are too young for that now. And I would hope and would pray that they would wait at least until they were grown adults before they even considered spending extra time with somebody or being interested in people in that manner. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, Kenda on Earth, she has another one. Okay, I have one more question. If you could only eat one starch for the rest of your life, what would it be? Rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, oats, corn, etc.? I love starch. I love carbs, you guys. That's a tough one. I would have to say sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. I could live off of sweet potatoes. Yes, sweet potatoes. All right, One Happy Mama 23. Hi, I think you've mentioned before that you guys would like to have a home with a bit of property. Is that still a goal? What would you do with the acreage? Also, what would you do for regular exercise in the cold? And do you always bring the kids along for your exercise? Lots of good questions. All right, so we do still want a home with a bit of property, but it's whatever God's will is. The home that we are in now, it's good for us. I mean, I would like to have property. We live in a nice, quiet retirement community, but I would like to have property to grow a garden, maybe to plant some trees. Maybe, definitely, I would plant trees and have lots of different fruit trees and berry bushes and things like that. Yeah, I would. What was the next question? Regular exercise in the cold. That trampoline that I've got really does nicely for just getting some exercise while it's cold outside. My sister got it for me, and it has been such a blessing. I used it a lot even when I was walking extra to lose the weight last summer. Somebody's carrying somebody out there. Did you hear that? Anyway. All right. Do you always bring the kids along for your exercise? As much as possible. But there are times when they're busy or they just don't want to, or I just want to really hoof it, and they just stay behind. All right. Next question. Kelly, Sam, Samantha. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Nick. Hi.
Hi.
YouTube friends.
Would you ever consider moving south since you really don't enjoy cold winters? Yes. And we have considered it, and we're praying about it, and we're trying to just weigh our options and to see where God leads. But I like the South. I sure do. All right, Carrots and Cosmos. What are your What are you planning to grow in your garden this year? Well, it all depends. I'm not sure that we're going to actually save our garden, do a garden plot like we did last year. I'm not sure because it's going to be further away. It's going to be a little bit more difficult to get to, and I'm not sure what our plans are this summer, whether we're actually going to move or we're going to travel. So, but I think I'm going to put like some grow boxes. I have grow boxes that I'm going to put out in the back and grow things that that are easy to grow in them. Like cucumbers were easy the last time I did it, and maybe try tomatoes in there, and herbs, different herbs, basil, and basil especially. I don't know. I don't know what else. Squash is good. We'll see. Beans. Green beans. I like those too. That's a good question. We'll see. All right, Tanisha 0111111. All right, I wanted to ask, how do you create an end-of-the-year portfolio for your kids to be evaluated, or do you even have to do that? Well, Illinois is a very lax state when it comes to homeschooling. There are no real rules for homeschooling except that your children need to be at the level of their peers. So what I generally do is just save their written work and put it in folders and just hold on to that. I don't really like do much else more than that. I don't even grade them. Right, Caroline?
Mm-hmm.
You doing okay?
Same.
Okay. So that's a good question. They're all good questions. I keep saying that's a good question. I appreciate all of them. Thank you so much. Miri Nessus. Do you use baking powder or baking soda? No, I don't. And that is a good question. You know what? We're going to do a video on that too. Remind me. If you guys don't hear from me on that, we're going to talk about that and explain more why. All right, mom.hall. I would like to hear more on your weight loss. Oh, yes. I did a weight loss video on, I'm not sure if you saw that, but I did a whole video on YouTube. Well, this is YouTube. I did a YouTube video on weight loss. Sometimes I think I'm talking to Periscope. That's why I did that. But check it out. My last weight loss journey and how it went about. But having said that, we could talk a little bit more in detail about what exactly I did, how I did it, why I did it, and just, you know, the biggest thing is trusting in the Lord more and just allowing Him to lead, and trusting in your body, and just eating healthy, whole foods in moderation. Like the nut butters, I was really bad about nut butter, and now I can actually eat a teaspoon of nut butter, put it on my banana or whatever, and be happy and be satisfied with that. Before, you have no idea how I went through almond butter, especially. And breads and pastas and junk food, like going to Whole Foods and getting vegan muffins or vegan carrot cake or vegan cookies or vegan pizza. And the pizza there is good, but it's loaded with that Daiya cheese, which is highly processed and lots of fat. But you know, little stuff like that really helps to keep the weight off. And just eating whole foods. I eat lots and lots of raw food, lots of salads with, you know, making them different all the time with like some different dressing. It doesn't even have to be like an actual salad dressing. I love to put baba ganoush on my salad, hummus, guacamole, a tahini dressing. You can make a cucumber dressing. You can make avocado dressing. You can do a vegan Thousand Island dressing. I mean, it's just, the possibilities are endless, and even just the different possibilities of what kinds of salads to make. I mean, it doesn't have to be the same all the time. And that's the thing, is that we often get into a rut and say, another salad, I can't do this again. But to enjoy it and to change it up is so much better to do that. And breakfast, you know, I used to pile a bowl of grains, even hot cereal, but now I do just a little bit more than half a cup of the hot cereal, and put a little coconut flakes, yeah, and carob powder, and maybe some flaxseed. Eat a lot of fresh fruit with that. Voila, that's it. So it doesn't have to be hard. It really doesn't have to be hard. All right, that was like a whole video in itself, but I appreciate that. One Mother Bear. I'd love to hear about plant-based menu planning. I have a confession to make. I'm not very good at menu planning. I plan to menu plan and then I don't plan. I just don't do it. Like, I get up in the morning and say, what are we going to eat? And a lot of times I just like whip together a soup, or, you know, I eat lots of soup. And see what the kids want, throw together a haystack. But you know what? Menu planning is a really, really good idea to do that. And maybe I should really start trying to do that more. And it's easier to shop that way when you know what you're going to be eating, to get the things that you need. And yeah. I got to think about that one. All right, let's go to Facebook. All right, now we're on Facebook. And I have just 3 questions on Facebook. First one comes from Valerie Lance. I would love to hear your general info birth stories. And oh, birth stories. I love birth stories. Anybody's birth story. That just almost brings me to tears. It doesn't even matter if it was just a regular birth, like nothing exciting, nothing different, nothing, because it's all exciting. Birth is just an amazing miracle to me. And I have 4 birth stories. So I think we might make that one another video, a birth story video. I would love to do that, a birth story video. Thank you, Valerie. What a great idea. All right, Sheila Price. Thanks. I'd like to hear your snack ideas. I'm finally transitioning from vegetarian to vegan this week. 2, my problem is I'm a snacker. Love sweets. I also love milk, and the no dairy is another huge hurdle. I do like cashew coconut milk better than almond milk, so I'm not quite dairy free yet. And that, she brings up a lot of things, Sheila does, about things that we need to talk about. Because for one thing, we don't snack. Snacking is really bad for you. It really is. It is. It's better for you. I know. A lot of people say, especially diabetics, you need to take many little meals. It's better not to eat, 3 big meals. But it really is better for you to eat full meals 2 or 3 times a day than to snack throughout the day. And I do want to discuss that a little bit. Just a precursor. I mean, we're gonna do a whole digestion video, I think. But just to give you a general idea, is that when you have food already in your stomach from what you've eaten previously, and then you add more food to it, the food sitting in your stomach now needs to wait until the food that you introduced to it, the new food that you've introduced to it, gets completely ready to be digested before the old food will leave your stomach, which means that it is putrefying and rotting in your stomach. It really is, even that quickly, while it's waiting for the food you just consumed to be ready to join it. And your digestive system takes up so much vital force, and even taking care of that, it just wears on your body to be able to have to constantly digest and digest and digest. It's better to eat your full meal and let your body digest it, let it rest, let it recover, let your body cleanse, and then eat another meal. So there should be 5 hours between the time of your first meal until your next meal. And another thing is even eating too close to bedtime, because now your stomach is trying to digest food instead of resting. And that's another big thing that a lot of people do, or they save their largest meal for the end of the day when your body doesn't really need it, because it's supposed to be preparing for sleep. Your body needs that energy and that fuel first thing in the morning. So, yeah, we'll talk more about that too. Loving sweets. I know about that. I hear you. Because you know what? A lot of us have that desire for sweets. Sweet is a very big, I don't know. For me, it was a really big hurdle because I love sweets too. But you know what? You can satisfy your craving for sweets through prayer and letting God change our perverted appetites and get us to really appreciate like whole sweet foods like fruit. There is nothing wrong with fruit, and a lot of people say don't eat too much fruit, it's too much sugar, and it's not really it's not good for you. It's a different kind of sugar, and it's sugar in its whole food form, which is much easier to digest with the fiber and the other nutrients in there. And it can really satisfy your craving for sweets too when you eat a lot more fruits. Even things like dates are really nice to enjoy too, but you don't want too many dates because they really have a high sugar content. And but some dates are good. Figs, dried fruit, but you got to be careful because they will pack on the pounds, and they will cause problems because they are super sweet and concentrated. But it's so much better to enjoy those kinds of foods than to eat a lot of garbage. Sugary snacks, cookies, cakes, ice cream, those kinds of things. It's not really good for you. Oh, speaking of ice cream with the milk and the sugar is really not good for you. Milk and sugar combined together should never be consumed. It's first-class fermentation. It wreaks havoc on your body. But something instead is ice cream, and it's so easy to make, and it's so good as you just take a frozen banana and put it in the blender with some other fresh fruit and whatever else you want to put in there. Blend it up. It's so smooth and creamy. It's delicious. You've got to try that. It's so good. Another question she had is, I also love milk, and the no dairy is another huge hurdle. Yes, milk is, and especially cheese for a lot of people. But milk is another thing that we need to discuss. I need to really get involved. I'm glad I do these Q&As because it gives me some ideas of things that we need to really share with each other, and for me just to share with you what I've learned about these things, because milk is not good for humans to consume. The proteins in milk are designed to grow a calf, especially cow's milk. To grow rapidly to grow a calf into a grown cattle of some sort, and it's not really for our bodies. It's not really good for our bodies to try to digest that, and many people aren't even tolerant of it, but they still consume it because they like it. Cheese should never be eaten, any kind of cheese, because the cheese, it just sits in your stomach, and it just churns and churns and churns. It just cannot be digested, and it makes you feel, it gives you that full feeling, and it tastes so good. But you know what? It tastes good because we have allowed our appetites to appreciate that taste and relish that taste, but really we're not meant to even appreciate the taste of cheese. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk more about that. We'll get deeper into it on another video. But I like that you brought that up, Sheila. Another question from Shirley Jones. I think this is our last one. How to give up sweets and emotional eating. Okay, so giving up sweets, I talked a little bit about that, just changing from eating lots of fruits and dates and things like that, and a lot of prayer. You guys, it takes prayer to make changes. When you're changing your habits, you've got to allow time for the habit to be established, and not to give up, but just to pray. And emotional eating is a big one. The thing is, emotional eating is mindless eating. When you get emotional, when you really just want to forget everything, you just grab the food and you just start eating and eating. And I've been there too. The thing is that we need to be mindful. We have to be grateful to the Lord for what He gives us to eat, and be grateful for our bodies, and just be determined that you're going to treat your body as God would have you to do, and be mindful of what you're putting in there. And is it going to be good for us? Is that article of food going to be healthy for me? Is it going to provide nutrition? Do I really need to eat it? Am I hungry? And you just got to think about those things before you actually put the food in your mouth. And it makes a big difference, and it's a big deal, So we've had a lot of really good questions, and I appreciate so much those of you who have submitted them. Thank you to all of you who have taken time out of your day to watch and to spend time with me here. And I want to do this again, and I want to continue, like I said, on some of these questions in the near future. And if you do have other questions, feel free to ask me anytime, and maybe in the near future we'll do another Q&A video. And until then, we'll just address each question on the vlogs, or maybe even do an independent video addressing some of these questions. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You're the best. Thank you for supporting me too. it was 3 months before I came back and started getting back involved in YouTube, and you guys waited for me, and I so many of you did. I so appreciate that, and I'm so thankful for you all, and I pray for you guys. And anyways, I'm rambling. I love you. Have a great day or night, whatever time it is, and until next time, don't forget to live well and be strong. Adios.